Guys, let me know if I'm audible. Hello, hey, what's up, guys? What's up? ऐसे चला लेते हैं फटाफट शेयर कर दो लिंक शेयर कर दो आज मजा आने वाला है today we're gonna like today is gonna be an amazing session. You're gonna learn such amazing questions now. We're gonna learn multi-source BFS, a lot of new questions that are asked in Google. बहुत तेज आवाज आ रहा है या सही सही आ रहा है? शेयर करो, लिंक शेयर करो, सब जगह शेयर कर दो फटाफट. Yeah, I was preparing the tree series, as you know. What is postponed? I was preparing the tree series, as you know. Number theory, I think Sai is taking number theory course, so you can definitely follow that. Sai is taking number theory course, you can definitely follow that. Yes, someone cracked Google internship today on my story, right? Correct. मेरे ग्रुप में भी कोई शेयर कर दो, टेलीग्राम पे भी शेयर कर दो. So there's one other instructor, Sai, who's taking the courses. You can check that out. There's one other instructor, Sai, who's taking the courses. So I've announced everything. Okay, so guys, today's agenda will be to solve Google interview questions. So I have handpicked Google interview questions. I'll be telling you how does a Google round happen, when does it happen, and what kind of rounds do you have, what is the time that you are allotted to solve a problem, at how much time have you have to code it. I'll be telling you everything. Okay, so before that, let me introduce you myself. My name is Raj Vikramaditya. I'm generally known as Trevor in the programming community. Currently, I'm working as a software engineer at Media.net DirectEye. Prior to this, I was working at Amazon. I'm a candidate master at Codeforces, also a 6-star rated at Code Chef. And I have a couple of years of teaching experience, and I also run a YouTube channel which has around 1 lakh subscribers. The subjects that I generally take at this channel and at Unacademy Plus are competitive programming, data structure algorithms, C++, interview preparation. And this is the new career as a developer subscription that has come across. Over here you'll find interesting shows covering a variety of topics like beat the odds to get a good placement, life problem solving, over the weekend projects, and a lot more stuffs which is revolving around this career as a developer subscription. Now if you are someone who's interested in software and all these stuffs, you can definitely check this out. The costing is 999 for 1 year, and if you use the coupon code Striver, you'll get it at 10% off, which is around 900 rupees is what it will cost you for 1 year. Yes, so it's very cheap. You can check this out. So this is the under this subscription, I'm taking this college projects. Basically, I review your projects live and I give you ideas about what kind of projects you can make, what should be the mistakes that you should not make, and then I also review a lot more projects so that you can see them and you get an idea about what kind of projects you can make and what can be relevant for your resume. Okay, and this is every Friday night. Cool. So the next one is the CodeChef Apprentice, where we have Sai, an SRE SWE at Google Dublin, 7-star at CodeChef, All India rank 3. Taking this, where he tells you about how to use CodeChef to its best usage, how to increase your ratings, and many more. This also happens at every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. and everything comes under the Career as a Developer subscription, so you can definitely check it out. And this is my batch that is going on, which is Placement 2021. It's a 4-month track to crack any coding rounds of any of the top product based companies. It's completely on English. It has started on August 1. We have conducted 4 classes. You can definitely check this out on Unacademy Plus. If you're willing to take this, you can take a Plus subscription and you can use the coupon code STRIVER again. And at the last, if you are new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe and stream like नहीं किया यार, क्या कर रहे हो, stream क्यों नहीं like कियो, stream like कर दो and subscribe कर दो, घंटी बजा दो, जो करना है कर दो, ठीक है? Don't spam. Very spamming, man. Don't spam questions. I'm over here to solve this. Cool. अरे reply नहीं करना. Don't spam, man. Don't spam. Otherwise, I'll have to block you. Don't spam. Don't spam unnecessarily. ठीक है? Cool. Let's get started with. I know there will be a lot of guys who will be spamming around today. किसी की जली अच्छे से, तो he'll come across and spam it. He'll come across. Don't worry. Don't worry. There will be a lot of people on today's stream who will be spamming across. ठीक है, तो चल मारो. Cool. Let's get started with the first question. So before that, I'll be telling you. नहीं आकाश तुम नहीं है, और एक बंदा आया था, कोई नहीं. So let me tell you about the Google coding interview. Like, how does Google hire? So whenever Google has, is generally the first round is generally like, if you get a direct referral, either you can get a direct referral, that can be one of the ways, or the recruiter reaching out to you. Okay, so these are the couple of ways. Either the recruiter reaches out, or there might be a referral. So the first round is generally the coding test round. Like, they have a coding test round, and if your resume is very good, like if you're having an amazing resume, this round is skipped. This coding test is generally skipped, and they take you to the telephonic round. Okay, that takes you to the telephonic. अरे यार ये रैथ फ्रॉस्ट, अरे यार ये मेरे वीडियोस पे भी कमेंट कर रहे हो स्पैम. मतलब इतना टाइम किसके पास है ब्रो? पुट कंटेंट एंड लेट पीपल डिसाइड हु इज द बेस्ट. मतलब क्या है ये, मतलब खुद का कंटेंट को बेस्ट बोलना. स्टॉप डूइंग दैट मैन. एनीवेज मैं ब्लॉक कर देता हूँ, मतलब कितना ही देर लगेगा मेरे को. Over here to solve. Next, I have 5 questions. 2 hours we'll be solving 5 questions. ठीक है? Please don't do these things. हाँ, इग्नोर करता हूँ. मैं इसको ब्लॉक करा देता हूँ, नहीं ये पूरा अपना मेरा भी टाइम वेस्ट करेगा. Cool. So basically you'll be shifted to the telephonic coding round. If your resume is very good, the coding test is cancelled off. So once you have this telephonic coding round, over here it's a Google Meet. The name is telephonic round, but it's a Google Meet round that happens. And are the questions very tough? No, they ask you a very standard question, either on binary search or on some traversal of tree, DFS or BFS traversal. It's a very standard question, just to understand that if you know the basics of DSA or not. This telephonic round is taken just to understand if your basic DSA is good enough or not. Okay, After that, once you clear this, they will ask you how much time you require. Yeah, Google is very best in this. They will ask you how many time you require. Like, do you require 1 month? Do you require 2 months? Google gives you a lot of time. Like, they won't be rushing you like other companies. Like, other companies are generally like, 1 week mein interview do, 2 week mein interview do. Google says ki you take your time. What we want is when you give an interview, you should be very well prepared. Okay, so Google gives you time. So like you can take 2 months time also. At max, you can take 2 months time. You take 2 months time, and after that you go across to 5 rounds that is happening. Okay, so there are 5 rounds that happen, divided into 2 splits. The first is 3 rounds that happen, then there are 2 rounds that happen. Now what is this 3 rounds and what is this 2 rounds? I'll tell you. So basically in this, मैंने कभी नहीं बोला DSSCP करो. What I say is keep on doing problem solving, because that's gonna be important. And neither I say कि open source मत करो. What I am saying is you have to do DSA. There is no alternative to it. If you don't do DSA, there will be a massive problem. And if you do CP, then there will be an edge. Simple as that. भाई fact है. CP करोगे edge रहेगा. अगर DSA करते हो, हाँ, there will be a very limited number of people who will get an edge. But if you are if you are very good in CP, you are definitely going to get an edge. I can throw you thousands of examples. I'm not saying कि DSA करने से नहीं होगा. Understand the difference. Anyways, so we have 3 rounds. What is this 3 rounds all about? This 3 rounds, we have 2 rounds on DSA, plain DSA, no object-oriented programming, nothing, plain DSA, and 1 round is on googliness. 1 round is on googliness. What is this googliness? Googliness is basically when they ask you questions, like they will give you a situation and you have to answer it. So it's a kind of an HR round that happens. If you clear these 3 rounds, then the next set of 2 rounds happen. Like if the feedback is good enough, then they will take you to the next 2 rounds. And over here, it's again a DSA. So completely on DSA, no DBMS, no operating system, nothing. Yes, nothing. So once you have given all these 5 rounds, then a proper feedback is done, and if you are good enough, they'll send you to the hiring committee and a lot of other things happen. And if you clear it, they are gonna throw you the offer. Now, what about this DSA rounds? So I'm gonna tell you what happens in this DSA rounds. So in this DSA rounds, generally every DSA round is of 45 minutes. 45 minutes is what every DSA round is. So they will generally they ask you 2 questions. Like the format can be in this way. They will ask you 2 questions or 1 question plus a follow-up on that, plus a good follow-up. That can be like either of that can be the stuff. They might ask you 2 questions or 1 question plus a good follow-up on that. Now this 2 questions, you can split it as 20 minutes. Now 20 minutes, they expect you to understand the question, the test cases in 5 minutes. They expect you to give an answer in the next 7, 8 or 10 minutes. Like you have to give the optimal answer in that. And after that, in the next 7, 8 minutes, they expect you to code that optimal solution. After that, the next question, again, the similar pattern they expect you. That's why 2 questions. You cannot take more than 10 minutes to think of an optimal solution in a Google interview. The questions are not of that tougher level. It's a like slightly greater than lead code, not CP level. It is slightly ahead of lead code, but way lesser than competitive programming. Okay? Have you understood this? Okay, so have you understood this? Lead code se hard hoga, or it might be lead code, but one of like you have 5 rounds na. One of the rounds might have a question which might be harder than lead code. That is what I'm saying. Okay? Perfect. Cool. So that is what I have understood, right? So that is what you have to do. And from where do you get the Google interview experiences? Just write this on your Google this lead code Google interview experiences. You will get a bunch of Google interview experiences, not on GFG. GFG is good for Amazon and all. But if you want Google interview experiences, just Google lead code Google interview experiences. Okay, just Google this. What you'll get is all the Google interview experiences. You'll get it line by line, and there will be questions, and there is an exceptional comment thread. You can read all the solutions. Okay, so have you understood how Google has and everything happens? How Google has and everything happens? Has everyone understood this? By the way, stream. Make sure you like the stream, man. Like the stream. Tomorrow, I think I'm not sure what is lined up. I think tomorrow is Amazon or Microsoft. Okay, don't ask random questions. Let's solve problems, man. That is the criteria. Don't ask random questions. I'll not be entertaining. Okay, so that's the so I took up a question. Which was asked in Google, and the first question was very simple. So he hasn't mentioned it. The next question was similar to rotten oranges. How many of you know what is the rotten oranges question? How many of you know what is the rotten oranges question? The question level of online test is like standard DSA questions, lead code kind of a thing. Not that tough. Generally, it's to test. How many of you know rotten oranges? Okay, how many of you do not? So I'll quickly tell you about rotten oranges, and then I'll move to this question that I'll solve it. Then I'll move to this question that I'll solve. Okay. Yes, kind of flat fill. Yes, kind of flat fill. So basically, rotten oranges is the question, and after that I'll solve the multi-source BFS question. That is a question from Code Chef is what I'll solve you, because that is what was asked to him. So let me take you to the rotten oranges question and quickly get across the question, and then we'll solve it. Okay, by the way, question is clear, right? Question dikh raha hai? This is the question, rotten oranges. You can check it out. Quickly read the question, and after that we will be doing a multi-source BFS. Quickly read the question. Quick. Dikh raha hai na? I'm not sure if it is visible. I think now it should be visible. Read the question super quick. Read the question super quick. Yeah, I've zoomed in. Okay, so the question states you will be given an m cross n grid, okay, where the zero represents an empty cell, the 1 represents a fresh orange, the 2 represents a rotten orange. Okay, so 0 for an empty, 1 for a fresh, 2 represents a rotten orange. Okay, so every minute any fresh orange that is 4 directionally adjacent to a rotten orange becomes rotten. Okay, so what they expect you is to find the minimum number of minutes that must elapse until no cell has a fresh orange, or if it is impossible, you have to return -1. So if I take this example where this grid is given to us, I see that there is only one guy who's rotten, that is this guy. So what happens is this guy is going to rotten other guys. So how will this rotten other guys? So this will start rottening this. So that's the minute. That's the first minute. On the first minute, this guy will rotten its adjacent. Remember, it can rotten in all the 4 direction adjacent. It can rotten all the 4 directions. So it starts rottening. After that, it again rottens. So do you see where does it rotten? This is where it rottens, and this. So it starts rottening this guy and this guy. So that is what it rottens, right? So in the second minute, it starts rotting this and this. In the third minute, this guy will rotten this, so this is rotten. In the fourth minute, this guy will rotten this, so this is rotten. So can I say in total I'll be requiring 4 minutes in order to rotten the all set of oranges. In order to rotten all set of oranges, can I say it will require 4 minutes? Has everyone understood the question? सबको आ गया क्वेश्चन समझ में? Has everyone understood the question? Yes? Perfect. So everyone has understood the question, right? So how do you solve such kind of question? So if I just change this question and I give you I just give you a cell like this. Now tell me what will be the answer for this? Like how many minutes? Like this is a rotten orange. This are empty cells, and these are oranges. So can you tell me what is the number of minutes that this will take? Can you tell me what is the longest time that it will take to rotten all of them, or can it not rotten? Like what will be your answer? What will be your answer? -1. Right, impossible. -1. So the answer will be -1. So this was the question that was asked to one of the guys in that. This is the first round question. So you cannot, right? You cannot. So I cannot. I know I cannot. So how will I solve this question if I give you? How will I solve this question? So we're going to use a technique that is known as BFS, or it's technically known as breadth first search technique. Yes, it's known as the breadth first search technique. Now what is this breadth first search? I have already taught you, so I'll just be going like one of my previous streams I've taught this technique. I'll just be going across very fast because I want to teach you multi-source BFS today, and that is what my main focus will be, to teach you multi-source BFS. So basically imagine you have orange which is rotten here, and these are all the oranges that are left out. So I can just write 1 and a 1 and a 0 here and a 0 here. Assume now this is normal BFS. This is normal BFS, which is breadth first search. So I have this matrix. Okay, I have this matrix of 3 cross 3, right? I have this matrix of 3 cross 3. So what I can do is, so remember, BFS is very simple. What BFS does is, BFS always takes a Q data structure, okay? And in that Q data structure, it's gonna store a tuple or a pair of pairs or something like that. And what it stores is, let's assume the indexings are like this, 0, 1, 2. So it stores I comma j, okay, and the number of steps that it took, I comma j, and the number of steps it took. So what it does is, since the question clearly states that there is a single, the question has clearly stated that there is a single rotten orange. There are not more than a single rotten orange, which is this. So you figure out which is the rotten orange, okay? So once you figured out which is the rotten orange, just put that in. So I can say it's at the index 0, 1, and the number of steps taken is 0, 1, 0, okay? So the number of steps taken is 0. So you put in ij, that's 0, 1, 0. Right after that, so this is the initial state that you'll start off with. And remember, if it's a Google interview, never ever modify this matrix. Never ever modify this matrix. Yes, if you're generally solving it is okay. Or if it's a Google interview, in an interview while coding, never ever modify the given matrix. Instead, create your own visited matrix. And wherever was the first rotten orange, put a visit, on that. Mark a visit on that. Whichever is your first rotten orange, mark a visit on that. So once you have marked a visit on that, what you will do is, you will start iterating. So first time you iterate and you get this guy. So what you get is I comma j, like 0, 1, and the steps that you took was 0. The steps that you took was 0, or the minutes that you took was 0. So from 0, 1, the question was clearly stating you can rotten oranges in 4 directions. One is the top, one is the right, one is the left, one at the bottom. So there are 4 directions which you can definitely rot the oranges in. So what I can do is I can go to the right, I can go to the bottom, I can go to the left, I can go to the top, correct? So if I go to the right, I'll be 0, 2 is where I'll rotten it. 1, 1 is where I'll rotten it. And if I go to the top, that will be something like minus 1, 1, which doesn't exist. And if I go to the left, it is going to be 0, 0. So if I carefully observe that this guy doesn't exist, this guy is an empty cell, so I'll not go here. This guy has not been visited, and at the same time this guy is also marked as 1, so that's a normal orange. So what you'll do is you'll go to 1, 1, right? You'll go to 1, 1. I'll come to this how you find BFSs here, because it's practice that has given me. I'll come to this why not DFS, why BFS, I'll come to this, don't worry. So this is how you take it. So this is taken. The moment you take it, please make sure you mark it as visited. And the next one is 0, 0. So kindly take 0, 0 and mark it as visited. So the number of steps will definitely increase by 1. So this is what you will do it. This is what you will do, okay? And why do I know this is a BFS? Because it's a standard problem. It's a standard problem. The next question might not be a standard problem, but this one is a very standard problem that is generally BFS solved using BFS. Via practice, you can definitely know. Cool. So I made sure that these guys are gone. Next, please take this. So 1, 1, and the steps this time taken is yes, I marked. Steps this time taken is 1. Okay, so 1, 1 can go to the bottom, and the bottom will be nothing but 2, 1, and the right will be nothing but 1, 2, and the top will be nothing but 0, 1, and the left will be nothing but 1, 0. So what I can say is this is already visited. This 0, 1, like you're over here, there's no need to rotten it again because that's already rotted. So you'll not go here. 1, 2 is something which you can take. So 1, 2, and the steps will increase by 1. So this is how you'll increase the steps. This is done. Next is 2, 1. Again, you can take 2, 1, and the steps will increase by 1. Next, you'll take 1, 0, and again the steps will increase by 1. That will take it here. So you can mark this visit, mark this visit, mark this visit. So I can say that I have taken all the... What are you speaking, man? Don't spam, don't spam. So I can say all of them are marked as visited. So that's what the minute one will be. That's what the minute one will be. So I can say the minute one is over. I'll go to the next. So the moment I go to the next, I have 0, 0, 1, 1. So whenever I'm at 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1 has a right, has a left, has a this, has a this. So 0, 0's right is already visited. Down is visited. We do not have a left. We do not have a upper portion. So this will not have any further rottening. Are you understanding how am I trying to rotten it? Is everyone understanding how am I trying to rotten it? Why 0, 0 visited? Because from here you ended up rottening this. You ended up rottening this. So you have to mark it as visited, right? Anshu, got it? Yes, yes, Hush. Has everyone got this? Okay, okay, thank you, thank you. Has everyone got this? Can I get a yes if you have got this? Everyone got this? Right? So what I can do is I can keep on doing this. I can keep on doing this, and the moment I do not have any further notes, the moment I do not have any other thing in this queue data structure, the moment I do not have any other thing in this queue data structure, I can say that is the moment I have started rotting everyone. So if you carefully observe, this is what is left. So the moment you'll take this guy, you'll also rotten this guy, and that will be marked as visited. The moment you will have a time where the queue becomes empty, yes, the moment when the queue becomes empty, what you can say is the queue is empty now. And since the queue is empty now, I can say it's over. And you will find that whenever you go here, there will be a step which will say 2, 2, 3. So this 3 is what will be your maximum number of steps. So you can just keep a count of the maximum number of steps. You can simply keep a count of the maximum number of steps, and that will work. That will work. Okay, so now the question is, why BFS and why not DFS? Why BFS and why not DFS? Can someone answer me this? Can someone answer me this? Why BFS and why not a DFS? DFS will be okay. DFS takes extra space. Okay. Now, okay. Time complexity. Okay. We can easily do it radially. Okay. DFS will be hectic. Okay. 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 Now you need to understand why not DFS. Now, if you carefully observe, how's the rotting happening? If I have a rotten orange here, it it rottens this, it rottens this, it rottens this, it rottens this, right? So it's rotting in radially outward direction. Every time it's a radially outward direction in 1 1 1. So whenever a case is there where you radially out, like you have a rotting or you have something which occurs outwards in probably one time or whatever is the time given, that's when you prefer BFS. In DFS, what will happen is, if you just imagine you are over here and you have a rotten here, you have a rotten here, you have a rotten here, and you have a rotten here, you have a rotten here. Just imagine. So what DFS will end up doing is, DFS will count this as, first time it will rotten this. Since you're doing DFS, I'll just rotten one. Next time it will rotten this. 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 This is what DFS will do. Because DFS means depth. Depth goes to the depth. And hence the time will come up as 2, 3, 4. Hence over here the time will come up as 5. But if you would have done BFS, what would have happened was, if you have done BFS radially outwards, so radially outwards, so this will be rotten. Again on this radially outwards, so this will be rotten. Again on this radially outwards, so it would have taken 3 steps instead of 5, because DFS is depth first search. So if it visits a path, it ends up visiting entirely. But when I say BFS, it goes simultaneously together on every direction. Have you got this? Have you got this? Has everyone got this? Why DFS will not work? A big of one space is not possible. Big of one space is not possible. If someone is asking that, he's a fool. Big of one space is not possible for rotten oranges. Big of one space is not possible for rotten oranges. Okay. Now, coming to the question, a lot of people are asking, how do you figure out that we could not rot every orange? We could not rot every orange. Can you tell me how will you figure out we could not rot every orange? Just think and tell me. Just be very smart. I think it's an easy one. Can I say, every time you enter something into the queue data structure, can I keep a count of that? Just logically think. If I enter every time something into the data structure, if I can keep a count of that, will that help me? Just think on that. If I just enter every time into the data structure, will that help me? Like if I just keep the count, think. What do you think? Can I say the number of elements, right? Every time. No, as I said, you never manipulate the data. In an interview. You can read a lot of interview experiences. If you're manipulating the data, the interviewers will reject you. The interviewers are gonna reject you. Because trust me, do not manipulate the data without asking. If you are willing to manipulate, ask the interviewer that, can I use the array? Like, can I manipulate the array? Ask him directly. He will tell you. But do not do it without his consent, because that's considered as a bad practice in the industry. I'll tell you why is that considered as a bad practice in the industry. Generally, when you write a production code and assume you have a set of data and you want to do something on that data, right? You want to have a feature implemented on that data. So on a production, will you manipulate the data and implement a feature? Just think. You cannot destroy data in a production, man. If you manipulate the data in the production, then the other features will get affected. In production, we always work thinking that that is the set of data which everyone is using. So you also have to write a code thinking that this is the set of data which everyone is using. I cannot manipulate that. Yes, you can ask the interviewer, then it is okay. So did you understand why can you not manipulate data? That's the sole reason. That's the sole reason. Does everyone understand this? Okay, so how do you know that all the oranges are not rotten? Very simple, very simple. Just count the number of guys, count the number of guys, and if the number of guys are equivalent, like over here I have 7 guys, if they're equivalent to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if they're equivalent to the non-empty cells, I can say all the oranges have been rotten. I can say all the oranges have been rotten. Auxiliary space is something which the recursion takes, it's something which the system takes. You don't use it. Has everyone understood this? Shall I move to the code? Shall I move to the code? Code pe jaye. I'll quickly code it, but shall I move to the code? So I'll quickly move to the code and I'll try to quickly write the code. So imagine you have been asked to find the minimum time and you have been given the vector and a vector. So get the size of the vector. Get the nm size of the vector, right? Once you have got the size of the vector, just figure out where is your rotten orange. Okay, so imagine the rotten orange index, like rotten I equal to -1, int rotten j equal to -1, just and count of non-empty equal to 0. So that's what you do it. Code नहीं करना, code नहीं करे, code कर लोगे? I'll quickly code it. 1 minute लगेगा यार, मैं बहुत fast code करता हूँ. I code very fast, don't worry. Just figure out the rotten orange. Okay, कोड कर दे. अरे कौन मतलब ठीक है, कुछ लोग हैं जिनको कोड चाहिए तो कर देते हैं. So figure out where is the rotten orange first. Figure out where is the rotten orange, guys. So assuming like the question says that we have a single rotten orange, so we will take a single rotten orange if matrix of I j is equal to 2. It's a rotten orange, so we can say rotten j equal to j, rotten I equal to I, and yes. And after that you can keep a counter plus, sorry, count non-empty, like you can keep a counter as non-empty plus, else if matrix of I j is equal to 1, then also you can do a count plus. So I've counted the number of non-empty cells. Right after that I'll insert the rotten I, rotten j, steps as 0. That's done. So we will be iterating on the queue till the queue is non-empty. Queue is non-empty, guys, so let's iterate. So what I've done is I've iterated on the queue being non-empty. Right after that what I'll do is I'll try to take the topmost guy. So auto of it q dot front is what I'll take, and I'll do a q dot pop. Once I've taken this, I can say I is equal to it dot I, int j is equal to it dot j, int steps is equal to it dot steps. Okay, so I've got this. Now I know we can move in 4 directions. I know we can move in 4 directions. So just make sure you have a visited array too. So I made a visited array, and please make sure visited of rotten I, rotten j is given as 1. Okay, so that's what you initially take it. Yes, initially it's given like, if you don't take initially the rotten orange, the single rotten orange starts rotting everyone, right? If you don't have the initial rotten orange, how will you rotten everyone else? Right? So I have this these guys. Now I need to move in 4 directions, right? So it's very simple. As of now, since we do not have time, so the 4 directions are like this. Yes, you can use that, but user struct looks much readable instead of a pair is not readable, right? When you are using a struct, I can easily understand what have you stored in a struct. It's much readable, right? It's much readable, by the way. So you have to go in 4 directions. So if you are at ij, the top direction is I minus 1 j, the right direction is I comma j plus 1, the bottom direction is I plus 1 j, the leftward direction is I comma j minus 1. Agreed? Is everyone agreeing? So just go across all the directions. So just take all the directions and go across all the directions and put it onto the stack, and just make sure you have a counter variable also. Have a counter variable over here. Always do a counter plus plus, and at the end just make sure you have the maximum time taken as max c equal to 0, and you can just keep on updating max c equal to max c comma steps, insert all the 4 directions into the queue with steps equal to steps plus 1 and marking the visited, right? And at the end, if counter is equal to initial count non-empty, you're gonna print c out the maxi, the step, the maximum time taken, or else you're gonna print c out minus 1. Is this clear? Kaloge? Can you do this now? Can you do this now? Can everyone do this? As everyone agreed, so I'll move to the multi-source, the follow-up question that was asked. So you have to do this. You have to do this every stuff in around 20 minutes. Yes. You have to come up with a solution. You have to tell the interviewer the solution. And if he agrees, you have to code that. And everything in 20 to 25 minutes. That's why, see, Google interviews are not tough. Google interviews become tough because the time is so short. They want you to be super fast. They want you to be super fast, and that is why CP people crack it easily. Now, the reason the people who do CP are very fast because they give a lot of code forces context. That is the reason there is a lot of advantage if you do CP, right? Okay, so if I discuss the time complexity, अरे यार compile करके करेंगे फिर रात निकल जाएगा. So if I discuss the time complexity, you might end up visiting all the nodes. Yes, you might end up visiting all the nodes. So that will be big O of n square. That will be big O of n square, and the space complexity will be big O of n square. Because just assume you're rotting the oranges and you end up going to all the nodes. Just assume you're rotting the oranges and you end up going to all the nodes. And the space complexity, again, since you're using a visited vector, it's definitely going to be n square. Clear? Okay, let's move to the next question. Shall I move to the next question? Yes, STL is allowed in the Google interviews. In Google interviews, STL is allowed. In almost all the interviews, STL is allowed, man. Normal STL you can use. Queue, stack, everything can be used. If they're asking you the implementation, tell them. मेरे से तो 1 घंटे में भी नहीं होता, इसलिए तो प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा. Okay, next question is this. This is the next question. SN Social from Code Chef. This was the follow-up question. If you read it properly, the follow-up question was this: with an element of parallelism involved, where you had to run multi-source BFS for 2 different sites. Yes, except Samsung. Samsung में coding round में allow नहीं करते, but they don't give you questions which require they use, like they give you simple questions also, mathematical थोड़े questions होते हैं. So multi-source BFS, let's read this question in order to understand multi-source. oh भाई क्या हो गया इसका? Okay, this is the question. Please read it. I want you to read it. Again, you can open this for people who are wanting to read it by self. This is the problem code. You can pause the video over here and you can open it. You can pause the video over here and you can open it. Okay? For people who are wanting to read it by self, pause the video, click like have the link typed by yourself and open it. So for everyone who's reading it, you can definitely read it. I'll give you this question. Kindly read it by yourself. I'll give you it's 10:46. I'll start at 10:48, 49. पढ़ लो तब तक. अच्छा, क्वेश्चन पूरा नहीं दिख रहा है. चैट पर डाल देता हूँ आप लोग को. Send across in the chat. Send across in the chat. स्ट्रीम लाइक कर दो. देखो ऐसे लाइक करते हैं. जाओ लाइक टिप दो. लाइक हो गया. You read the question. Please read the question. So, who has blocked me, man? ये ब्लॉक कर दिया क्या? Who has blocked? कैसे नहीं आया भाई? वही तो भेजा था. तो चैट का अच्छा फिर अच्छा. कैसे नहीं जा रहा है? मैं तो भेजा हूँ. Send you the link, right? अभी तो लिंक गया. लिंक्स एंटरटेन नहीं कर रहा होगा. ब्लॉग नहीं है, लिंक्स एंटरटेन नहीं कर रहा होगा. हाँ लिखता हूँ. आ गया. लिंक्स एंटरटेन नहीं कर रहे हैं. इट्स नॉट एंटरटेनिंग लिंक्स. सो it's not entertaining. Yeah, it's not entertaining links. Yeah, it's not entertaining links. Links not allowed in the chat sections. Links are not allowed in the chat sections. अरे हद ही है भाई. कोई नहीं. Let's solve the problem. Let's focus on solving the problem. What is the problem stating? So let me explain you the problem. So basically, what the problem states is, after a long duration of the painful, torturous and tumultuous periods of capitalism in snake land, blah blah blah. Now the snakes have decided to adopt socialism. The houses in snake land are arranged in a rectangular fashion of dimension n cross m. Okay, of n cross m. The wealth of the snake in the house is given by AI J rupees. A bill has been passed for making a smooth transition from capitalism to socialism. ठीक है. क्वेश्चन नेम यार स्नैक डाउन है, मैं तो बताया एसेंस सोशल. At the end of each hour, the wealth of a snake will grow and will become equal to the highest. Very important, very important. At the end of each hour, the wealth of the snake will grow and will become equal to the highest wealth that its neighbor had. Let us consider the maximum wealth among its neighbors at the start of the hour, and the snake's wealth will become equal to that of the end of the hour. Note that this increase in wealth will happen simultaneously for each snake. Okay? Two houses are said to be neighbors of each other if they share a side or a corner. That means all the 8 directions are neighbors. One of the minimum number of hours required for the transitions. So for people who did not understand, because it's very weird. So basically what they're saying is, assume this is the matrix that is given to you. Assume this is the matrix that is given to you. So if I take this matrix, yes, if I take this matrix, so if I take this matrix, basically what happens is, what they're saying is, the matrix has to have the value equivalent to the maximum value in the entire matrix. So what they want is, if this is 2, they want everyone to be 2. So it's a multi-source, BFS. Over here we do not have a single rotten orange. We have a single 2 and I want everyone to be 2. Over here there is a 2. So basically this 2 will make this guy 2, 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 this 2 will make this 2. That's the first step. Second step, will this 2 make this 2, this 2, like this 2 would have already, sorry, in the first step, this 2 would have made all the 8 directions and this 2 would have made this guy 2. So that is what will be done in the first minute. That is what will be done in the first minute. In the second minute, either this 2 or either this 2 or either this 2 will make this guy 2. So that is what happens in the second minute. So have you understood the question? I'll give you one more example. Assume this is the matrix. Assume this is the matrix which has 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 2. So what they expect you is to make everything. Yes, what they expect you is to make everything. Can you tell me what I have to make the matrix? Can you tell me what do I need to make the matrix? Can you tell me what do I need to make the matrix? I need to make the matrix as 4. All the elements should be 4. All the elements should be 4. Yes, all the elements should be 4. So basically I can say in the time 1, this 4 will make this guy 4, will make this guy 4, will make this guy 4, will make this guy 4. So, and this 4 will make this guy 4, this guy 4, this guy 4, this guy 4, this guy 4. That is what will happen in time 1. That is what will happen in time 1. Okay. And if I take the time 2, this 4 will make this 4, this 4, this 4, this 4, this 4, and everything will become 4. So can I say over here also the minimum time will be taken as 2? Can I say over here the minimal time taken here will also be 2? Okay. So did you understand the question? Instead of one rotten orange, we have multiple rotten oranges. So how will you solve this problem? That was the follow-up question in Google. So if you have multiple rotten oranges, how will you solve it? Yes, but how will you solve it? It's not a single. No, no, no. Yes. So, yes, Shwetang is correct. Vangshu is correct. Anshu is correct. Lusari is correct. Shovik is correct. So, the answer is very simple. The answer is going to be super simple. The answer is we have multiple rotten oranges over here. Like if I just extend the question, we have multiple rotten oranges over here. So what you will do is you will take, like the question stated maximum. You have to make the entire matrix as maximums. You have to make the entire matrix as maximums, right? So if you have to make the entire matrix as maximums, what will you do? Yes, what will you do? So first logic will be to find all maximums, and the initial queue in one source BFS. In one source BFS, the initial queue started with only one guy, right? Over here, there might be multiple maximums. So in multi-source, you start with all the indexes of multiple maximums. That's the difference, and everything stays the same. Everything stays the same. Everything stays the same. Have you understood this? Have you understood this? Doesn't matter, just figure out where is the maximum. Take all the maximums, put them into the queue and start your BFS, man. Because you take all the indexes with step 0, step 0, step 0 and have everyone and have them spread. So have you understood this? Can I get a yes if you have understood this? I want a yes from everyone. I want a yes from everyone if you have understood this. And if you haven't, you can definitely put a no. I'll explain it again. If you haven't, you can definitely put a no. No, okay, Shivam is no. Shivam hasn't understood. Okay, okay, Shivam, I'll repeat you. Dekho, Shivam. In one source, in the previous question, what did you do? You started with this, if you remember. In the previous question, you started with this. That was a one source DFS. Why did you put 0, 1? Because the first guy was over here. The first guy was over here. If there are multiple rotten oranges, like assume there was one. So along with 0, 1, you will put this 2, 0, 0 also. You put all the source into the queue and then start the BFS. Let everyone go radially outwards. Let everyone go radially outwards. Got it now? Has everyone now got it? Shubham, Anand, Rajiv, have you got it? Gagandeep, Amar, Rohit. Have you got it now? I'll just put all the source. I'll just put all the source. That's it. Now have you got it? Okay, शुभम को तो आ गया, बाकी लोग को आ गया, गगन वगन को ठीक है. The question will just change to something like this. Over here, you figured out only one, right? Instead, whenever you find the maximum element, just make sure you do a q dot push. Every time you find a maximum element, just do a q dot push. That's it. Every time you find the maximum element in the queue, just do a q dot push, and the rest code will remain same. There is no need to change. That is the meaning of multi-source BFS, and that was the question that is what it asked. Like there might be 2 teams or 3 teams. Got it? Stream lag हो रहा है? Stream तो lag नहीं हो रहा है, मैं साइड में देख रहा हूँ. Stream is not lagging. Is the stream lagging? Is the stream lagging? No, it's fine, right? Yeah, this question is similar to rotten oranges in Take It Forward, right? Okay, perfect. So this is how you'll do this question. Let's come to the next question of Google. Please read the question. That was the next question that was asked in Google. I want you to read this question and then we will discuss a possible solution to this. Let's see what solution you can propose me. Or the solution that you'll propose me. ये वाला देख लो एंड बताओ कौन सा सोल्यूशन लगाएंगे. Read the question. Read the question. What modification? I did not understand, Dhananjay. What's the modification you're talking about? Okay, someone is saying topological sort. Okay, Shaunak. Okay. 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 Perfect. 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 The guys can think of a solution. Nice. Nice. Okay. Okay. Let's. Can it be done without topological sort? Is my question. Okay. By the way, how many of you understood the question? I'll give you an example. How many of you understood the question? Okay, Amog. Congratulations. How many of you understood the question? Give me a yes if you have. Give me a yes if you have. Give me a yes if you have. Not understood? Okay. Okay. So, okay, I'll. Google है यार, Google है, थोड़ा level टफ ही होगा. Okay, so I'll tell you what this question. This is again expected to be solved within 20 minutes. Yeah, at least the first part. They expect you to solve this within 20 minutes. So you can understand what is the level of Google. Again, it's an easy question. No, it's not an easy question. So I'll tell you. Just imagine there are players from number 0 to 5. Okay, there are players from number 0 to 5. Okay, so if the race, the guy who's 0 guy wins the race. After that, the guy with who's next guy is 2, the next guy assume is 4, the next guy is 1, 3, and then 5. Assume this is how they finish up the race. First guy is 0, then there comes 2, then there comes 4, then there comes 1, then there comes 3, then there comes 5. Okay, assume this is the race. So what they've said is they will give you an array. Okay, so what they've said is they will give you an array. So in this array, okay, in this array, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in this array, what is given to you is if 0 is the first guy, that'll be -1. Okay, and it states if ai is equal to j, denotes the fact that player j finished the race before player I. Player j finished the race before player I. So ideally there is a problem in the question. Like whoever has written this, there's a problem in this question, because if there is a winner of the race, he will finish before everyone. So if I just tweak the question, like I think there is a grammatical mistake in this question. So it's basically stating 0 is someone who finished first, so he will be -1. 2 is someone who just finished before 0, so 0 just finished before 2. After that, 4 is someone who just finished after 2, so for 4 you'll go as 2. 1 is someone who just finished after. I think there was over there, I think there'll be an after. So 1 finished after 4. So 1 is someone who's finished after 4. So you can just have it like this. Before 3 is 1. Before 5 is 3. So this is how the array will look like. there is some grammatical mistake in the question. Like I just picked up from lead code, so there might be a grammatical mistake. So what I can say is, if 0 is the winning guy, it will have -1. If there is 2, before 2 there was 0. Before 2 there was 0. Before 4 there was 2. Before 4 there was 2. Before 1 there was 4. Before 1 there was 4. Before 3 there was 1. Before 5 there was 3. Before 5 there was 3. So have you got this? Have you got the question? So they will just give you this array. They will just give you this array. And they want you to print the sequence. Yes, they want you to print the sequence. They want you to print the sequence. They want you to print the sequence. So yes, Ishank is giving a correct answer. So how will you print the sequence? Tell me your solutions. Tell me your solutions. How will you print the sequence? कैसे करोगे? I think everyone knows where to start off with. Does everyone know where to start off with? No. Two players cannot finish at the same time. Two players cannot finish at the same time. Anshu, two players cannot finish at the same time. Stream like कर दो, नए बंदे सारे stream like कर दो जो लोग अभी आए. Okay. Think of a solution. You can do reverse mapping. Yes, you can do reverse mapping. Sort कैसे होगा? Sort कैसे होगा? Do a reverse mapping, man. Yes, Shwetang is correct. Do a reverse mapping. Do a reverse mapping, bro. Do a reverse mapping. What is a reverse mapping? You know, the winner will always be -1. Start with the winner. Start with the winner and do a reverse mapping. So you start with the winner, okay? You start with the winner, and what happens is you find where is 0. You find where is 0. So one of the ways that you can find is you have to do a linear search. So that's not good. That's not good. So what you'll do is you'll create a reverse mapping. So what I'll do is for every positive number, I'll say 4 appears at the first index, 0 appears at the second index, first appears at the third index. This is what reverse mapping is. I did a reverse mapping saying where does the number appear at what index. This is the number and at what index does it appear. Do a reverse mapping. So 1 appears at 3, 2 appears at 4, 3 appears at 5. So I have created my reverse map. I have created my reverse map, right? So once I have created my reverse map, so can I say I'll currently start at 0. I'll just figure out where is -1. So I know I'll start at 0. Now figure out where 0 leads you to. 0 leads you to 2. Go to 2. Now figure out where 2 leads you. So from the reverse mapping, you can figure out 2 leads you to 4. Now figure out where does 4 leads you. 4 leads you to 1. Now figure out where does 1 lead you. 1 leads you to 3. Now figure out where 3 leads you. 3 leads you to 5. Now figure out where 5 leads you. Does it? Nah, it doesn't. It doesn't. There is no 5. So can I say this is my sequence? Can I say this is my sequence? Again, has to be done in 20 minutes. Has to be done in 20 minutes. Now the problem is, it's a medium level problem. But the problem is you have to actually come up with the solution. You have to understand the question. The main time will be consumed in understanding the question. And after that, you have to come out of the solution as quick as possible. That is the main problem. That is why these kind of questions are given to you in a Google interview. They expect you to come out of a solution as SAP as possible. And that is where they, like, even if you solve the problem in 30 minutes, then you'll be given a no hire. Even if you solve it. They want you to, like, there is a time that they always note down. If you are giving an interview, you'll see that they're always noting down the time. You have to be very fast. The faster you are, the better chances you are of getting hired at Google. Okay. निकल Google का नहीं रहेगा. Questions easy रहते हैं, but problem is coming up with the solution in the very limited time and coding that too. You have to code it. That means you have to be very fast at coding. You cannot be like हाँ सोच के हाँ चाय पी रहा हूँ, कॉफी पी रहा हूँ, Bonvita खा रहा हूँ, देखिए कोड करना. You have to be very very fast. ठीक है. No, in Google there is nothing like brute optimal. Be as soon as, like, they don't ask you questions which require brute generally. So how many of you got this? नहीं कल गूगल का नहीं रहेगा, कल गूगल का नहीं रहेगा, कल माइक्रोसॉफ्ट है. So how many of you got it? How many of you got it? Can I get a yes if you got this? Can I get a yes if you got this? Have you got this? How to solve? Okay, Sparsh, I'll explain it. What I've done is, Sparsh, I have basically from this array I've created a reverse map. I've created a reverse map. Okay, Sparsh. So a reverse map is created. This is what is known as reverse mapping, where I, in order to increase speed, keep participating at as many contests as you can. That is only something which will increase your speed. That's why you see a lot of CP people getting into Google, and there might be two or three exceptions who are in Google who haven't done CP, but they also would have done a lot of lead code. A lot of lead code. When I say lot, means 500 600 questions that have done on lead code and on maintaining speed. Like if there's a guy who's just solving problems, he'll not get into Google. That is something which I can assure you. You have to solve at extreme speed. Extreme speed is what you have to solve. इसमें इंट्यूशन क्या है? इसमें इंट्यूशन क्या था? तो सिंपल है, तो लॉजिकल क्वेश्चन है. Like, is it an intuitive question? It's a logical question. You have to move in the reverse direction. That's why I did a reverse mapping, because the normal mapping was at index 1 we have mapped 4, so I did a reverse map and stored. And since I know the starting point is 0, I started with the starting point and I figured out where is 0. So normally, in order to figure out where is 0, I would have to do a linear search. But over here, instead of doing a linear search, I can easily figure out via the reverse mapping that 0 exists at 2, and I can go to 2. And in order to figure out where is 2, I again take the help of reverse mapping. That is where reverse mapping was useful. Okay. So please make sure you work at your typing speed also. Should be very fast. So this is how the reverse mapping works. So can everyone code this? Can I get a yes? Achha, please code this once. Okay, I'll code this. So in order to code this, I'll come to the follow-up question. In order to code this, void print sequence. This is how you generally code in. You can take the vector. Yes, you can take the vector. And what you can do is, since you've given the reverse mapping, just figure out where is the index where this -1 exists. So go till this index vec.size and have a I++ and figure out where is this vec of I equal to -1. Take an index equal to I and break. Okay, don't break, and do the reverse map at the same time. Just do the reverse map, guys. So over here, what I can do is reverse map of the number itself, a of I equal to the index. That's how you do the reverse map. So right after this, you can definitely print the sequence while I don't reach a null. So I can say initial index. When the index doesn't reaches null, keep on going till the index doesn't reaches null. Print out the index, print out the index guy. Right after that, index will go to the reverse map. Keep on going, and if it doesn't exist, it will be automatically none. So that's how you print the sequence. Got it? Is it clear? Is this clear? Populating reverse map should, oh yeah, thank you. Don't do these mistakes at Google, they'll not hire you. It's practice. Since I've done so much of CP, I've given almost 170 contests, man. 170 at Codeforces, a lot. I still give Codeforces contests by using normal IDs, because like I don't give the entire contest. I just read question, I just type and submit, and then I go off. As I'm still in practice, but yeah, I do that with spam IDs, not with original IDs, just to be in touch. And I keep on reading a lot of interview experiences. Like, trust me, if I have 5 problems, so that means I'm solving 5 problems before coming to explain you. So slowly and slowly, I also get better with these streams. Yes, Ishank, you can take unordered map. That is okay. Unordered map can be I can give you an argument that on the worst case, unordered map will take big of n time, right? Send login solution. Yeah, this is the next question. What if the given array, like you're not sure that the given array is correct? It might end up giving you a incorrect sequence. So how will you know that the given array is not correct if it is corrupted? How will you check that? Follow up means given array is corrupted. What does that mean? So let's understand what does that mean. Basically, if you have an array, and this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Corrupted, let's understand what does corrupted means. And the sequence was 2, 5, 3, and a 4. Assume this was the sequence. So basically, I'm saying that 0 is -1, 2 appears before 0, 5 appears before 2, 3 appears before 5, 4 appears before 3, and 1 appears before 4. So this is the correct array. This is the correct array, right? So what I can say is corrupted means assume like I give 5 appears before 2, and then I give something which is not correct. That is the meaning of corrupted. That is the general meaning of corrupted. If I give you something which is not correct, that is the meaning of corrupted. So how will you check it? Don't you think if it's a corrupted, you will end up getting a cycle? Like you'll visit the nodes again and again and again. Don't you think you will end up getting a cycle? Like for an example, this is -1, right? This is 4. This is 0. This is 5. Assume this is comes out to be 1. This is corrupted. It doesn't have duplicates, but I think, okay, is this corrupted? Let's check this out. Is this corrupted? So first we have 0, then we have 2, then 2 is at 5, 5 is at 3. We don't have a 3, so it's corrupted. So can you figure out this? Can you figure out the corruption? So the follow-up question was this. So if it's a 45 minutes interview, the faster you solve this easier version, the more time you'll get for the corrupted question. So it depends on your skill. So what do you think? I will? How will you solve this? Out of range. Okay. One of the ways that you can solve it, you can solve this is, see, when I tried to figure out 3, I could not. So is this the end of the sequence? No. Why? Because I have 6 nodes in total. But I just got 4. So that's one of the things. If I'm iterating and I end up, I repeat, if I'm iterating and I end up before getting the total number of nodes, I can say it's a corrupted data. That's one of the edge cases that I can think of. If I'm iterating and I end up before, I can say that it is corrupted. Perfect. And the other one that I can think of, assume I'm iterating and I come over again to a guy again. Like I'm iterating and I 0, 2, I get 5, I get 3, and then I again come back to 2. So I can say it's corrupted. So if I'm revisiting again someone, I can say, so the next thing is revisiting a guy. So these are the 2 cases that you have to make sure. Have you understood this? If you have revisiting, or if you do not find out, like if you do not get exactly n equal to 6 nodes and you end up before that. Clear है? Rabbit and har कहाँ से आया? Rabbit and har क्यों करना है? Why do you need to do a rabbit and har? One component without cycle, okay? So now the question is, how will you figure out that it's a, like you're going on iterating? Will you create a visited array? Will you do something else? Like what do you think? Will you create a visited array? That will add space complexity. Better solution will be keep on revisiting, and if the count exceeds n, then that means it's wrong. Now you might argue that what if I get exactly 6 nodes and I end it over there? That is the possible stuff. So can we use visited? Like, do we have to use visited? Yes, there is no other way. Like, you have to use a visited. Use a visited just to make sure that you do not revisit anything. And at the end, you should have exactly visited n equal to 6 nodes. That's yeah, it's a kind of a topo sort, but for topo sort, I have to create a graph. Instead of a graph, if you just use a visited array, that will work. Just use a visited array and keep a counter. Keep a counter which keeps on increasing. That will work. Yes, well Turner, सब कंपनीज में स्पीड मैटर करती है. So have you got this? कैश क्लियर हो गया? A topological sort क्यों करना है रिद्धि? There is no need to do topological sort because whenever you are doing a topological sort, it's eventually you are creating a graph, right? So why will you waste time in creating a graph? It's absolutely a waste time, na, if you are creating a graph. So instead of that, if you can have a bit of smartness, instead of creating the entire graph, if you just use the topological sort ka count concept, right? And I use a visited array. I think that will work, right? I just use the count concept of topological sort and the visited array, and I can mix them up. At the end, I should have gotten exactly that many nodes, that many unique nodes rather, and I do not end up visiting again and again. That should work. No, भैया corruption वाला वापस से. No, the total question is expected to be solved in 45 minutes. Total question. Visited समझ नहीं आया. अरे सिंपल तो है. ये देखो. अगर if I give you a corrupted case like this, 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, if I give you a corrupted case where I'm like 3 ले लो, 1 ले लो, 4 ले लो, फिर से 3 ले लो. So what will happen is यहाँ पे 0. What will happen is so what will happen is first time when you are starting with 0, you will go to 5. 5 you will not find. So that's one of the cases. If you do not find, you'll end up getting count equal to 2. So if you get a count equal to 2, over. Matlab, it's over. You did not find a 5. So that's wrong. That's one of the cases. That's one of the cases which is wrong. The count should have been exactly equal to 2. Let's understand the visited wala case. So if I have a -1 and I have a 0 here, I have a 1 here, 3 is here. No, 3 is not here. 3 is here. This is a correct answer. अरे मतलब कुछ भी कर लो ना, 3 3 लिख दो लो. I can create a test case. Just basically what I'm trying to mean is if you end up visiting a same node again and again and again, that is what I meant to say. थोड़ा सा और ग्राफ्स नोट्स लेना होगा तो आ जाएगा. बेसिकली अज्यूम तुम 0 से शुरू किया, 1 गए, 2 गए, एंड फिर 2 से वापस 0 आ गए. दैट इज व्हाट आई मीनिंग टू से. 0 से 1 गए, 0 से 1 गए, राइट. 1 से 2 गए, 2 से वापस 1 से 2 गए, 2 से वापस 0 आ गए, 2 से वापस 3 गए, 3 से वापस घूम के वापस 3 गए, 3 से वापस घूम. You can create a cycle. You have to take a lot more notes in order to create the cycle, but yes, I hope you have understood that. Basically, if you come back again to a certain, like if started and you come back again, that's when you call it as a cycle. So you can use a visited node in order to mark it. Hashing use कर लो, ठीक है? Cool. So we'll move to the next question. This is again expected to be solved in 45 minutes, like with the follow-up, with the codes, both the codes. Next question is this. It's a very easy question if you are someone of competitive programming background, or else it will take some thinking. I'll take some thinking. This is the question. The question. If you're from competitive programming background, I think this is a cakewalk for you. And again, expected. This question was expected. It was only a single question. This was expected to be solved because it's a kind of a tough question. This was expected to be solved around 40 minutes. Again, think about the solution. Think about the solution. Question पढ़ लो. बहुत straightforward question है. Please make sure this is queries given. It's not a single question. It's a queries question. Straightforward questions है यार. Not segmentary. Nah, not segment. Not segmentary. By the way, array can have positive as well as negative integers. Array can have positive as well as negative integers. Sample test case. Okay. Assume n is -1, -2, 5, 4, -3. Okay. And n is equal to 5. And I am assuming query to be q to be 1. And the first query is having a value of 8. Not 8. 6. So what I can say is k is 6, and I want you to tell me which subarray is giving you a sum which is closest to 6. So I can say the subarray. What do you think? Which is the subarray which is closest to 6? What's your thought process on that? I think I can say this can be a possible subarray. This can be a possible subarray, or I think this can also be one of the possible subarrays. You can because both of their sum is 7. Both of their sum is 7. Both of their sum is 7. Is it? Sorry, this sum is 5. This sum is 7. So k is 6. Both of them are equally closer to 6. So you can print any of the subarray. You can print any of the subarray. Is the question clear? Is the question clear? You can print any of the subarrays. Question clear hai? Okay, Sparsh is saying -1. Is that possible? नहीं Sparsh, how is that possible? अच्छा हाँ वो हाँ that's better. Perfect. I think yeah, answer. Sparsh is correct. This is the answer. Yeah, this is the answer. Sparsh is correct. This is the answer. This gives you exactly 6. Thank you, Sparsh. This is the answer. 5, 4, 9. 9 minus 3 is giving you 6. This is the answer. It's the subarray which is closest to k equal to 6, and these guys can be called as the next closer elements. So out of all the subarrays given every query, you have to tell me the intervals. Yes, you have to tell me the intervals which is the closest. Subarray means either it can be the entire array, or either it can be a chunk of elements. Subarray can be either the entire array or the chunk of the elements. Yes. So, any idea about how to solve this? This question was the only question that was asked in that interview. Took around 45 minutes. Two-pointer sliding window, cadence. We can check in a window. We have to find subarray closest to k. But guys, why don't you see this? It's a query based problem. You have to minimize the query time. Yeah, you cannot use a sliding window. You cannot use a prefix. It's a query based problem. So the query should be answered in a very limited time. Okay. Again, two-pointer technique cannot be used because it is having positive as well as negative elements. Two-pointer could have been used. You would have started adding up. The moment it went more of k, you would have started reducing. Two-pointer can be used if it has only positive elements. But since it has positive as well as negative elements, you're not sure how the sum increase, what is the tendency of sum So you're not sure about that, right? So two pointer cannot be used. Have you understood why two pointer cannot be used? Because it is having positive as well as negative elements. Suppose why two pointer cannot be used? Had this, if this was just having positive elements, तो तुम सम को लेते 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 एंड जैसे सम बड़ा हो गया के से फिर इसको छोटा करते, फिर बढ़ाते फिर छोटा करते, समझ में? Has everyone understood why two pointer cannot be used? Because it's having positive. I want a yes from everyone if everyone has understood. So by the way, for people who are thinking what are they talking about, they are basically saying let's use two pointer. So what they're saying is have a pointer here, have a pointer here. Sum is equal to 0, k is equal to 6. So basically what they're saying is sum is initially 2, increase the pointer. Add 3, still 5, increase the pointer. Take 9, so you have got a sum which is greater than k. So now start removing, decreasing the pointer. So that is what they're saying. But that is not possible. That is not possible because it is having positive and negative. So you're not sure how the sum increase. Over here, you were sure that the sum will always have an increasing tendency when you move the right pointer. That's why something as this is not possible. Okay, so sliding window is definitely not possible. Come on, think यार, मतलब मैं ही सारा बता दूंगा तो फिर क्यों आया स्ट्रीम पे? What is the meaning of stream? It's a gaming stream. It's where we discuss. नहीं तो max heap. How will the max heap work? They're asking you an interval. So let's see how I solve this. Like I'm not bragging, but yes, the moment I read this question, straightforward solution came to me in 1 minute, and this is what the solution that came to me. The solution that came to me was what if I use an n square. Yes, what if I use n square and a map data structure to store everything? What if I do that? So I was like, okay, that is nice. Or what if I store them in a vector? What I will do is I will try to store every subarray in a vector. So you'll be like, but how will that help? That will help. So what I did was I figured out every subarray. This is the subarray 0 0. Like if I write the indexing, I figured out the subarray 0 0. So I created a vector and I said summation is -1 and the subarray is 0 0. Next, summation is -3 and the subarray is 0 1. Next, it is 2 and the subarray is this. So in this way, I stored all the subarrays possible, and I know that at maximum there will be n square subarrays. So I stored n square subarrays directly, and after that I sorted them on the basis of the sum that I'm storing. On the basis of sum, I sorted them. Is this clear? This is the pre-computation that I will do. Is this clear? Like till now, is this clear? Till now, is this clear? Clear है यहाँ तक? Is this clear till now? I will get all the, yes, I'll get all the subarrays and their sums stored in a vector and I'll sort them. Okay, Pragnesh did not get it. Pragnesh, which portion you did not get? बाकी लोग कहाँ गए? इतनी watching में सिर्फ 2 जन बोल रहे हैं. Yeah, this is not brute force. The reason this was the question is because trust me, if you haven't done CP, you will not be able to solve this problem. Because in LeetCode, you don't solve query based problems, do you? Do you solve query based problems in LeetCode? So that is the reason they had given you 40 minutes. Because generally, when the problem solver will give the solution, he will never be able to give the direct solution. This might look like a brute force solution, but if you haven't done a lot of CP, this will not look like a brute force solution. Yes. So once I have all the sorted sums, so for everyone who's wanting one more, see क्या किया अपने, मुझे पता है एक सब एरे ये है, तो इसका समेशन मैंने स्टोर कर दिया. नेक्स्ट सब एरे आई नो इज दिस, इसका समेशन स्टोर. नेक्स्ट सब एरे इज दिस, इसका समेशन स्टोर. नेक्स्ट सब एरे विल बी दिस, नेक्स्ट सब एरे विल बी दिस. स्टोर ऑल द समेशंस. ओके. नेक्स्ट, this is the next subarray, this is the next subarray, this is the next subarray, this is the next subarray. Store all the summations. Next subarray is this. Next subarray is this. Next subarray is this. Generate all the subarrays. And store the sum. Once you have stored all the sums, sort it according to the sum. Now the question becomes very, 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 very easy. You're given q queries. For every query, if you're given k equal to 6, can you do a binary search? And figure out which is the sum which is slightly greater than 6, and which is the sum which is slightly lesser than 6? Can you figure these two guys out? Or if there is a 6, then to kuch aur nahi karna hai. But can you figure this out? If there exists a 6, if who is the greater, who's the slight? Can you do this using binary search? That's log n actually. If you do a binary search, it becomes a logarithmic complexity. Yes or no? So it might look an easy question, but if I ask you to code the entire thing, like come up with a solution, explain the solution to the interviewer, then code this and everything in 40 minutes, then it looks daunting. The main problem with interviews are the questions might look easy, but when someone is asking you to solve them in 40 minutes, where you understand the question, where you come up with a solution, you explain it, you code it, and then you explain your code with the edge case, 40 minutes looks very small. That is the specialty about Google. They don't give you 1 hour. 45 minutes is the interview round. And if 1-2 minutes goes away for greeting, hello, hi sir, my name is this. So please make sure whenever you're giving a Google interview, try to utilize time as much as you can. Can we do this in big of n? No, big of n is not possible. If they're asking you subarrays, big of n is not possible because you have to consider all these subarrays, no matter what you do. It's just about reducing the time of queries. Any other questions, guys? No, if you use priority queue, how will you get something which is closer to k? Because k can change always. You need to understand this. I've written one query. What if you are given multiple queries? Query 3, k equal to 6, k equal to 9, k equal to 12. There might be multiple queries. No? If it would have been a single query, then the question becomes okay. But if I give you multiple queries, then there's a problem, right? No, this cannot be improved, man. If this can be improved, you have to use very higher level stuffs. That is not expected. I've clarified this answer from a lot of top coders, Ashish Group and everyone. Like they said to me that this is the best possible, and if we are gonna increase that, then we have to use a lot more complex logic that they also do not know. Forget about me. No, it's not a brute force solution, Subrato. It's a pre-computation of brute force, and then it's a login per query. That's not a brute force. Everyone cannot think कि मैं सारा सब array का sum store करूंगा, binary search करूंगा. Since you have done so much of coding, you can think कि हाँ store करके binary search कर देंगे. It might be an easy thing for you, but it's not an easy thing for someone who has not done coding. Understand this. Yes, Siddhant, yes. So someone is asking me, like, if you're wanting to find greater than 6, it's a binary search. Again, I'm not going to teach binary search. If you're watching Google interview questions, binary search should be known. There is something known as upper bound in C++. If you do that, I have a specific video on upper bound and low bound. You can watch that. If you do upper bound and low bound, you will get the one greater than 6 and lesser than 6. Just do an upper bound and low bound, you'll get them. And to get equal, if you do a binary search, you'll get that. That's an easy one. Practice, Aditya, practice. Yes, Anshul, that's the complexity. You're about n square log n plus twice, like why twice? Yeah, around twice of log n. Can I get a yes from everyone if everyone has got the logic? If everyone has got the logic, can I get a yes from everyone? Because I'll not code it. I'll move on to solving questions now. Next question. I have 2 more questions to come up. Has everyone got it? Yes, you can store that. So that will only avoid this condition. That will only avoid this condition. But what if 6 doesn't exist? Then you have to do it. Anurag, because we are pre-computing using n square. There might be a lot of queries. So queries has always to be answered in a very minimal time. Okay, like whenever you are using a feature or something, like WhatsApp वगैरह जब यूज करते हो, सर्च जब करते हो तो बहुत फटाफट आती है, क्योंकि बहुत सारी चीजें प्री कंप्यूटेड रहती है सिस्टम पे. That is why pre-computation is. I picked up a Google interview experience and I've written this question just to avoid the guy's name. I could not use the lead code article because there was the guy's name allowed. Like, usko problem ho jayega. That's why I just picked up the questions. Okay, that's the next question from Google again. And this has a follow-up question. This round has a follow-up question, and the follow-up question is here. I'll come to that. But yeah, this is the question which was expected to be solved in 20 minutes. Please read this question. No worries, Sayush. Just keep on giving interviews, man. Just keep on giving interviews. आज नहीं तो कल एक निकलना ही है. Just keep on giving interviews. Read the question and tell me. Okay, a lot of people are saying, okay, heap यूजर का सर परफॉर्मेंस नहीं आ रहा CF. अरे ये सब मत अभी मत पूछो. ए में किया था ना, उसमें पूछना था. Please read the question. Please read the question. It's not a DP, man. It's not a DP. It's not a DP. Is it a DP? It's not a DP. Dude, it's not a DP, man. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. What does the problem state? The problem states if k is 3, you can take one card from the beginning. You can take one card from the beginning, and you can either take one card from the end. Okay, so you can take from anywhere. So if you apply your brain, if I'm asking to take k equal to 3, what are the possible things that you can do? Either you take 1 from here, 2 from here. That's one of the possible things that you can do. Or you can take 2 from here, 1 from here. Or you can take 3 from here. Or you can take 3 from here. Is it a DP problem? Because the question clearly says from beginning and end you have to take. Did you guys understand what I'm meaning to say? So I'll just draw it. This is the first thing that you can take. The second thing that you can take is definitely something like 2, 1. The third thing that you can take is the entire first 3 elements. The fourth thing that you can take is entire last 3 elements. Do I see any? कमर कैसे होगा? कौन सा लॉजिक? स्लाइडिंग विंडो यार. एज अ स्लाइडिंग विंडो डूड. स्लाइडिंग विंडो लॉजिक. Don't throw a DP solution. The interviewer will kick you out. Read the question. Take some time. Even I read the interview experience. That guy initially gave a DP solution. That is why he was rejected. As the moment you read such questions, DP looks very cool. Be slow, man. Be slow. These are the things that you have to take care. Take one from beginning, take one from end, and that is what you do, man. अरे नेगेटिव आते तो भी क्या फर्क पड़ता है? आई एम कंसिडरिंग एवरीथिंग बिकॉज एट द वर्स्ट केस आई कैन टेक समथिंग फ्रॉम बिगिनिंग एंड लेट बीच से तो नहीं ले सकते. अरे आतिश वो क्वेश्चन चला गया अभी मत पिंग. अच्छा तुम पुराना वो देख रहे होगे. So what I can do is in order to solve this question, what I'll do is, if k is given as 3, I need to pick 3 elements, right? So what I'll do is, I will initially keep this portion and I'll have the sum as 6. I'll have the sum as 6 by initially keeping this. Next moment, I will move the pointer. I'll move the pointer and I'll take something from the back and I'll take something from the back. So this is what I'll do. Again, can be easily done using pointers. And the sum this time I'll get is, I just have to remove this 3 and I have to add this 1. So the sum that I'll get is 4. Next I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. This time I will have this and this. This time I have to remove 2 and I have to add the 6. So this sum I'll get is 8. Next time I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Next I'll get this, and the sum that I'll get is 12. Across all the movements, the maximum sum that I get is 12. That will be my answer. Can you do this? Can you do this? It's just a pointer. Have 2 pointers. And if you're moving, like if this guy is moving here, delete this and add this. This guy, delete this and add this. अरे यार मैं ऐसे नहीं बोला. मैं बोला तू पॉइंटर तब यूज कर सकते हैं जब आप वैसे सोच रहे हो कि सम बढ़ रहा है. बट यहाँ पे क्या था, एक बिगिनिंग से लो एक पीछे से लो, तो आप यही तो पॉसिबिलिटीज है लेने के. डू यू सी एनी अदर पॉसिबिलिटीज ऑफ टेकिंग? आई हैव ट्राइड एवरी पॉसिबिलिटी. दिस इज स्लाइडिंग विंडो विद 2 pointer, man. You have been asked to take 3 elements, guys. You have been asked to take 3 elements. There are no other options. Has everyone understood this? Like, again, if you're watching Google streams, please make sure you are well versed with programming. You're like, this is your placement here, then only watch it. Okay, so has everyone understood this? Can I get a yes from everyone? Can I get a yes from everyone? No. No. You cannot, you cannot sort it, man. The question clearly states, इधर पीछे से लो नहीं तो आगे से लो, और कहीं से नहीं ले सकते. पीछे से एक लिया तो उसके बाद ही दूसरा ले सकते हो. सॉर्ट कर दोगे तो भाई तो मतलब दुनिया हिल जाएगा. सॉर्ट नहीं कर सकते, दुनिया हिल जाएगा भाई. दुनिया थोड़ी हिलाना है. Why will you solve in this world, man? अरे वो क्लियरली बोल रहा है, यू हैव टू टेक फ्रॉम बिगिनिंग और फ्रॉम एंड. सो इफ यू सॉर्ट इट द बिगिनिंग एंड तो घर चले जाएंगे, पता ही नहीं चलेगा कौन आगे है कौन पीछे है. Okay, so we're done with this. For people who cannot understand this, there is a problem. Like this question exists at LeetCode. I'll share you the question. Like if you just Google this question, you'll find this at LeetCode. Just Google this question, you'll find this at LeetCode. I'll give you the link. This is the, I'm not sure क्या नाम था question का, but I've solved this question. Maximum points you can obtain from cards. That's the question name. You can practice this. Maximum points you can obtain from cards is the question name. Please go back and practice this question. Maximum points you can obtain from cards. Cool. Next question. The next question is this. LeetCode.com complete. This was the follow-up question in that in this round? Kindly read this question and tell me what is the possible solution. Kindly read this question and tell me what is the possible solution. स्लाइडिंग विंडो कहाँ से प्रैक्टिस करूँ? ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है, कहाँ से करूँ? क्वेश्चन देखो, हो जाएगा. कोडिंग राउंड देखो, तुम ये मतलब पता नहीं कौन ये सब पढ़ा रहा है कि कोडिंग राउंड के लिए अलग. मतलब देखो चीज़ क्या है, डोंट प्रिपेयर फॉर इंटरव्यूज, डोंट प्रिपेयर फॉर कोडिंग राउंड्स. Have your data structure algorithm skills strong, and that you can either do by practicing a lot of lead code questions, or you can do a lot of competitive programming. That are the two ways. Have your these things strong, and once you have these things strong, कोडिंग राउंड प्रोग्राम अलग से नहीं करना होता है. ऐसा नहीं है कि इसको अलग से करो. एवरीथिंग इज प्रोग्रामिंग मैन. डोंट क्लासिफाई दैट. नो, रॉन्ग. नो, रॉन्ग, 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 wrong, 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 wrong. Aman, that's not definitely not the solution I'm looking for. That's definitely not the solution I'm looking for. Will Google ask such a simple question? Think. Instead of interview bit, try to follow lead code. That is better, because interview bit has copied questions from lead code. So why to do a copy? जो original है उधर से करो. No, 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 no. What is the time complexity solution that you are giving me? What's the time complexity solution you are giving me? How many of you think that this is the solution? Okay. How many of you think that this is the solution? How many of you think this is the solution? How many of you think this is the solution? How many of you think this is the solution? No, this is not the solution. This is a simple solution. Like, sorry, this is a simple solution that is definitely not the solution, man. This is a simple traversal, man. This is correct, but this is not correct. This is correct, but this is not correct. Because the time complexity of this solution is big O of n. The time complexity of this solution is big O of n, which is incorrect. Yes, which is incorrect. So I'll just give you a hint. You can go back and try this at home, because yeah, almost 12 o'clock in the night. I'm hungry, so I'll give you the hint. Since it's a complete tree, let's take an example. Since it's a complete tree, I repeat, since it's a complete tree, you're going to use that property. You're going to use the property of complete tree. What is a complete tree? What is a complete tree? Any tree which is basically like it's complete entirely, and at the last level, like all the levels except the last level should be completely filled. So as you can see, this level is completely filled, this level is completely filled, this level is completely filled, and this level is also completely filled. And if these levels are not completely filled, like this is empty, this is empty, everything should be to the left of the tree. Everything should be to the left of the tree. So I can see this thing is entirely to the left of the tree. So it's not complete, but this thing is to the left of the tree. Make sense? Have you understood this? ठीक है. So something to observe. If I give you a tree like this, and I tell you that the height of the tree is 3, I tell you the height of the tree is 3. Can I say the total number of notes is 2 to the power 3 minus 1, that's 7? Can I say the total number of notes is 2 to the power 3 minus 1, 7? If I just give you this tree, Agreed? Is everyone agreeing with me? Is everyone agreeing with me? You can keep on doubting. Keep doubting. LOL, you can keep on doubting. Okay. So now, what if? This is a subtree, and this is a subtree. What if I go to the traversal in this, right? And I go to here. So what I can do is, I can find the height of the tree. The LH is 3. And I can find the height of the tree, that is the RH, that is also 3. And can I say, if both the heights of the tree are same, instead of doing the entire traversal, I can actually say that is subtree ka height is subtree ka number of nodes is 7, and I can return that. Similarly, I can do over here. Instead of doing the entire traversal, I can say that this subtree has an height of 2, which actually means that it has this. So can I do this? No, it's not too easy, man. It's not too easy. If I give you this to solve in 20 minutes, unless until you know the property, you know what is a complete tree. See, there is a lot of things involved. Why are these questions asked in Google? It basically checks how deep you know the binary tree. I am very much sure that a lot of people know this question, and this is the solution that they will give. A lot of people will not use the property. That's the reason Google does ask you this, because a lot of people do data structure algorithms, but they do not have the basics clear. So the complete tree, they don't know what is the complete tree. So they will have to ask the interviewer, sir, what is complete tree? So he'll explain. That's a negative. And next, this solution will not come unless you have studied it. If you have studied, you'll feel like क्या ही है, question easy है. But if you haven't seen that, on spot 20 मिनट के अंदर तुम्हें नहीं मतलब दिमाग में आना बहुत टफ है, ये मैं बोल दे रहा हूँ. No, the height is, it's a logarithmic n into logarithmic of n height. If it's not a skew tree, it's a logarithmic of n into logarithmic of n height. So you can check out the solution. I'm done with today. You can check out the solution, but yeah, that's the logic that is involved. It's a logarithmic of n into logarithmic of n. Because assuming the binary tree is not a skew tree, I'm not assuming like skew trees, because skew tree is not possible. If it's a complete tree, skew is not possible. If it's a complete tree, skew is not possible. Height is log n. So every time you go to the left, every time you go to the right, you're definitely gonna get. And now you might ask me the question, but Striver, what if we go to the bottom every time? No, yeah, it's a complete tree. There will be subtrees which you don't have to go to the bottom. And at the top of the subtree, you will get it as complete. तो पूरा हमेशा नीचे नहीं जाना होगा, समझ रहे हो? हमेशा नीचे नहीं जाना पड़ता है. At some top level, you will go back. And in order to get the height, it's very simple. You have to just, भैया, how you manage office work? Today is off, man. Today Saturday, छुट्टी रहता है. अरे आई चल ले लेते हैं, स्ट्रीम ले लेता हूँ. I generally wrap up my work at 9 o'clock and फिर थोड़ा पढ़ाई करके स्ट्रीम ले लेते हैं. चल जाता है यार, बॉडी है. Yes, 3 questions. शौनक, अगर समझ में नहीं आया, I'll upload the tree series. उसमें इसका पूरा डिटेल सोल्यूशन है, 10 मिनट का वीडियो है, देख लेना. अभी I'm done with today. Solving 5 questions on a live stream is not easy. Explaining question, explaining solution, it's not easy. Trust me. एक बार ट्राई करना, 5 सवाल खुद करने का ट्राई करना. Forget about explaining. Take 5 questions, try to solve them in 2 hours. You'll feel it. अगर मेहनत करके हम कमा रहे हैं तो तुम्हारी क्यों चल रही है? तुम भी कमाओ, मना थोड़ी कोई किया है कि नहीं? लॉल, अगर मेहनत करके कोई कमा रहा है तो भाई कमा रहा है. अगर इफ़ यू हैव दैट मच कैलिबर, इफ़ यू हैव दैट मच स्टैमिना, तुम नेटफ्लिक्स मत देखो, तुम अमेजन प्राइम मत देखो, तुम बाप के पैसे पे खरीदो मत चीज़ें. तुम अपना मेहनत करके कमाओ ना, मना कौन किया है? रोका तो किसी ने किसी को नहीं है ब्रो। मेहनत करते हैं अपने, आपसे तो पैसे नहीं ले, मेहनत करते हैं ब्रो, सीधा बात है। डोंट यू एग्री? डज एवरीवन एग्री और नॉट विद दिस स्टफ? I use Java. So okay, so before going on, if you guys are new to this channel, subscribe, like the stream, घंटी बजा देना, and check out my placement batch, which is a 4-month track batch. And the next is check out CodeShip Apprentice by Sai and the college projects that I take, and all of these two come under the career as a developer subscription. And use the coupon code Striver use कर लेना अगर कभी Unacademy पे आ रहे हो तो make sure use the coupon code Striver in order to get the 10% discount. इसी के साथ इस स्ट्रीम को रैप अप करते हैं. बाय बाय, गुड नाइट.